like in a line, and I'll just hold while you stop.
I'm already back,
Hit the
Ether.
line,
I'm
no?
sorry. I hit the
Okay.
button. You know, Lila, you're a smart individual. You're a smart. We've had this issue before, didn't we? We had this issue before on the qualifiers.
Oh yeah, we definitely did.
I had to stream on Discord still open to allow Ether to align the Pikachu plush. And I forgot I had it open, and that took all of my
It's doomed.
performance out.
10 seconds and it hasn't lagged. Let's go.
Well then,
Big.
Going
we're
for
back.
20.
I do apologize. Hey, listen, it's the first one. You know, stuff is bound to happen. Stuff is bound to go wrong. But we are back now, and I feel like we can now yap about it now.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like Pikachu, what are your thoughts about like regular season? What do you think about the tiebreaker situation in the end? Actually, we got really close to having a proper tiebreaker played out.
Pika Pika.
Why did he say it with that tone?
But, yeah, I think we really did, and the 3 Germans game was kind of a banger against Flameskins, because I in the end, right, that was that decider that ended up telling us, yeah, we're not getting any tiebreakers. And holy, that game, Lucas was going insane.
He was doing plenty for sure, but it ended up not being enough for him, sadly. To be honest, though, still, like, considering the team's like perceived power levels in that week, it felt so much more competitive than it ever really had the right to. Especially considering that three Germans even took a game off of them, right? Like, that is something to consider. Like, that's not necessarily something that was easy for them to do.
Like, I was hoping. I was watching that series, and I've never been this nervous while a series was happening, and I wasn't even playing in it, because everything that happened in it was defining if we get to play tiebreakers for playoffs or not. And I'm like, okay, we're going to game 3, and it's like, I don't know, set 4 or set 5. I don't know how far they actually went, and I'm like, I can't do this. And then in the end, they still lost. So, it's unlucky. 2 out of 16 chance is what we had, and sadly, one of the 14 possible ways that we didn't qualify happened. So what can do?
Yeah. I mean, it was all lining up until it didn't.
Yeah. I mean, surprisingly, if we just play better, win more, that situation doesn't happen. But yeah, we didn't.
I mean, funny thing is the series against home towards the start of the season, right? Wasn't Hyde lagging really bad in that series?
I remember we had some issues, yeah, but like, I don't think it would have mattered that much. Maybe we would have won second map, but third map, like, I don't know how it would have gone, like, honestly. So
yeah.
I prefer not to speak, because I don't think we would have done any better in that situation.
Fair.
Even if we would have, like, I think playoffs would still be a little bit further out than we might have expected, because if we win that, surely we have like a better chance on playoffs.
Well, no, if you win that and nothing else changes, we make playoffs.
Yeah, but
again other things could go different too,
we got really lucky in other situations. So yeah, I think this is still, like, we still got off pretty well. We outperformed. I feel like we outperformed what people expected, because everyone put us on.
Yeah, everyone put us 7th,
6th place.
Yeah.
And we were about to be 4th, so that's the win in my book, you know?
I mean, you had a lot of win cons that you were playing towards, right? That did well. I feel like Otta was holding it down really well. You yourself as well. I feel like you've outperformed a lot of people's expectations, right? You didn't like turn into the best forward ever, right? But you started to deliver a lot of performances that people were, I feel like, a bit surprised with. So obviously a good showing, and I feel like as well, just because it is like it's a get together of a team that I don't think a lot of people would have expected. Like Hyde and Otta, yes, have played together before, but I don't know how much Hyde had interest in playing competitively prior to USL. And again, like, you finding your way into that team as well, There's the exact same possibility that maybe Zeiss would have been ended up being that forward slot due to Cape being a thing.
I mean, I can leak. The person that got this team together was actually me.
Yeah.
Because it started out with Nero and myself, and we're looking for a midfielder, and it was between Whistle and Hyde. Whistle didn't know if he wanted to play the entire season, so we were looking for potential other players. So we found Hyde, and after the first qualifier, when Dona with Reko and Dinfar didn't work out with Ata, he messaged me again because I asked before, but he had a team back then, and he was like, "Yeah, we can still try to make a team." And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I'm technically still playing with Nero. I'm checking back with Nero. Nero said it's fine if you want to play with Ata." So that's basically how the team got created. So technically speaking, I was not the one getting into that team. I just entirely annexed the Cape roster and even got Sios as a substitute. And then afterwards, like I didn't even know. And afterwards, like Ata told me, like, "Yeah, we already played in a team." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, didn't know that one."
Yeah, and I mean, okay, this is it goes back to something that Vaughn says all the time, like in Coscord and stuff like that, when people complain about, oh, I can't find a team, whatever, right? Vaughn is pretty big on, yeah, if you can't find a team, don't complain. Make a team yourself, right? And I'll speak to it from my own angle. I mean, this is not EUSL related, it's just like in general, my own experience competitively speaking. In NA, I was the original midfielder for Oshino Core Flip, just because I was reaching out to people and I'm like, "Yo, I'm down to play, let me in." And then they're like, "Yo, we're down to have you, we'll let you in." And then I played. Season 2 of NASA, I played for, with Oshi, I ended up doing the first half of what was Launchpad, right? Like the first, actually no, I think I did, first half of Launchpad, and then they eventually made Nassau when the full roster came together, and I just became a sub. PLX also, they were looking for players. I reached out to Pineapple, and he's like, "Yeah, why not?" Right? And then I played for them in NASA Season 2. So, yeah, I mean, great examples, right? Just reach out to people, you make your own team, and then run it.
Yeah, and I feel like there's also a certain thing. I've actually talked about this a bit earlier already when I was streaming on my own. It's like, I feel like a lot of people that are looking for a team also are holding themselves too, like, they're too strict with it in a way. Like, they have a certain level of team that they want, which I can understand, right? Obviously, if you're a certain level of player, you don't want a team with, like, if you're consistently sitting in Pro League 300 LP+, you don't want to start teaming with, like, diamonds, right? That is fair enough. That could be outside of your range. But I do feel like just even going for something that maybe you wouldn't have gone for initially and just playing it for a week or two, you could find, like, a good amount of team synergy, or build up each other to improve. So I feel like it's more so just overall as well. I think more than reaching out, when you have found someone to play with, I feel like the most important thing always comes down to team synergy and just having good vibes together. Like, you could put the best 3 players onto the same teams. I feel like if they don't like each other, it's not really gonna last long, because ultimately this isn't like League of Legends, you're not playing for millions of dollars and making a living. It's still very much a hobby, and something that people can pursue out of their own pleasure. And if you're not having fun with it, then, what's the point in a way?
Yeah.
I mean, if I look back on my team history, I remember I've been going through my team history with Sloth already in the past. I have played with basically half of Europe, and I think that's also something that helps, because with my experience playing with different people, 90% of teams still were with Nitro in midfield, but we ignore that part. I've played, I think, with every single goalie that is like higher ranked, especially in Germany, except for Alex. I've played with a lot of midfielders. I found out recently I have a team with Zarheinov as well. At some point, um, I think I've played with like half of Europe, and that's why I just tend to ask people if they want to play. If they want to play, they want to play. If they don't, they don't. Right?
Mr. Worldwide out
So-
here.
Mr. Europe wide.
Yeah, Mr. Europe wide out here. Continent
No,
wide.
Time
Yeah.
to join
No,
an
I
NA
think-
team to be Team World in Miss World World actually.
I mean, Zoe
I'm
does.
gonna go. I'm gonna go to NA for 2 months. Play one season. I don't know how long the seasons actually are.
Probably longer than 2 months, I
I-
think. Because the
think
USL
a
is
little
already.
I can play.
longer than-
I can play regular season like half the games. That's fine.
I mean,
Just-
realistically speaking, right? Actually, it's a little tough just because of there being like, I think a break, like a lot of breaks, like especially towards the start of the season. I know this past season in NA at least had a lot more breaks because between week 3 and week 4 we had. Oh god damn it! Okay, they don't have the. Can I unhide the previous columns? Okay, I don't know if I can. Well, they don't have the 2024 stuff, but just off top of my memory, between week 3 and week 4, they had a 2-week break for the collegiate playoffs, and then between week 5 and week 6, we had a 2-week break for winter holidays, which yeah, that's fair. But I think in previous weeks, week 1 to week 9 have all been like just raw straight through. And that in and of itself is 2 months. But then if you include the qualifier circuit, that is maybe another like 5 weeks or so, right? Including breaks. And then playoffs plus tiebreakers, that's like another 3 weeks. So season overall is like roughly like 3.5, 4 months.
Okay, so I need like 4-month visa for America, and then I'm just gonna play one season. get
Call it a
first place.
5-month visa just to be safe.
Hey,
True. And then I just win league. Say Europe is 10 times better because even I can win here, and then leave without any further context.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure that's gonna happen as well, right?
All I need to do is find the best NA team and just pretend I'm a forward for them.
No, genuinely speaking, I think Immaculator is like at least like a NASA level forward at bare minimum.
I feel like I kind of would agree with
Could
that.
probably
I mean,
make it
if
into
we're,
NASA.
if we're trying to make the comparison anyways between the EU team, obviously like it's all just purely assumptions because there's no way to really compare.
Yeah.
We're just entertaining the thought of it, right? So I feel like if you were to make that a comparison, I think if you're looking at most of the USL teams, almost all of them are guaranteed. I think around NASA level. I'm not sure. Like Eclipse doesn't have a strong showing, but I feel like they're still good individual players. I think they just didn't have the team
Yeah,
experience together.
I think so.
So everyone's already at least looking at, in my opinion, at NASA level, with some of the top ends probably being able to compete in national as well. But again, like that's
Mhm.
who knows? It's just for funsies, ways to think about it.
Yeah.
Would be great if we could ever have like a proper like EU team go to like an NA LAN or something, have that proper comparison. But obviously, money.
We're gonna
That's true.
find out in like 7 years when Omega Strikers has like their second awakening. We actually get 1,000 active players at once instead of like 300. And Otis is like, okay, just for fun, we're gonna do one world championship, and one team gets flown out. They have to pay out of their own pocket. Prize money is like $100. But we get to see like all different
Yeah.
continents compete. That would be fun. But then again, I don't think with the current trajectory that's ever gonna be happening at any time soon.
Listen-
Within the next 3 months.
Guys, if you guys come to next LAN, we should make this our team. Thoughts?
no,
Actually, wait, the roles do match up, don't they?
Yeah. And I'm grinding. So like I'm grinding, improving. Kirikin has told me I need to stop playing center as much. Play a lot more closer to the wall. Trust brawler, trust goalie to cover out clear, you know, the usual.
Yeah. I mean, Hey, if you're playing more side and you're playing more in a way to allow me to run up as well like a maniac, hey, I'll enjoy it. I'm having fun with it.
Hey guys.
Wait,
Fun fact.
Season
just
reset.
Randomly,
Season reset,
just
yeah.
randomly right now, there's a patch.
Wait, no,
Wait, the
that's...
patch
we
is
can
supposed
talk
to be
about-
tomorrow.
I thought that was coming out tomorrow, but you know what? I just was misinformed. But you know what we have for that? We have a funny little... We have a funny little thing to do here, actually.
Yeah, we
We have a funny little
Guys,
thing to
don't
do
leave.
here.
Please don't drop the viewership. Stick around for patch notes.
You're
Yes.
getting live patch note reactions from us now. Let me switch over to... Oh, it just works. You'll love to see it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Before we start patch notes, let me answer Sykeen's question. My favorite EKC member is Soren.
Honestly, I feel like I just have to agree with that. He's the manic that plays Zentaro eject bomb on Night Market, right? Yo, I appreciate that. That sounds like a good time.
It was a check, yeah, I think. No, was it Momentum? I don't know.
It
Not
was that
sure.
That's the important part.
Yeah.
Just Zentaro goalie, you know. It's always a great time. Just don't try to run it competitively in any like Giga Series environment where you can't afford to lose a set or two, please. But
Right.
I mean, we had it in the show matches as well, and
yeah,
it won.
yes.
so-
Did you hear how you said show matches?
I mean, they technically could have been considered tiebreakers.
Not really.
Right?
Not really.
I mean, it would have been one of the tiebreaker matches. So
I actually looked that up. If we went to tiebreakers, what the seeding would have been. I don't remember it though, sadly. So either way, though,
I mean,
patch notes.
I think we should have been on the bottom because we lost 0-2 against Retirement Home and won 2-0 against Flames Kittens. So I would assume we would be on the bottom.
I mean, who knows? It doesn't end up mattering that much. But more importantly, now season 5, another season upon us. I am worried about what's going to stand in here, but I'm also excited. All I know is I read through the patch thread posted by Aesop, and there are a few things in there that could have been fun. I'm excited to just see what's going to be in here. How do you want to do this? We didn't really talk about it. Do I just like read it out aloud and we just talk about
Yeah,
the
why not?
points?
We go through each of them. We talk about the stuff.
Alright,
Whatever.
then we'll have to start with the flavor text, of course. Hello there, my loyal Mega Strikers community. Today we are happy to bring you season 5, the season 5 patch. Yippee! That goes crazy.
Yippee!
You know the drill by now. New season means new stuff, new battle pass levels, new balance changes, and new skin reward for reaching gold. Let's go. A recolor. Who would get a recolor now?
Mako got
Yeah.
a recolor.
It makes sense for Mako now.
It's Sakura
I guess
Mako.
so. I don't think we're getting Sakura Mako. We're probably potentially getting one.
No, it's literally Mako
It is?
recolor. Sakura Mako.
Why are you spoiling me? I haven't scrolled this far yet, Imag. That's messed up.
It's
You
true.
asked what recolor it would be.
That's not how it works. Any guesses who it might be? I was playing that game just now and Imag ruined it.
I mean, okay, Mako makes sense though.
Yeah, no, it
Like,
makes sense.
Mako doesn't have like, and it's just existed. I don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
With all that being said, let us get into the dirty deeds of this year
Yes,
patch.
but
I
what if
tell
we
you
do
that.
this like the those like the paragraph readings that you do in like elementary school where everyone
Stand
like,
up,
takes a
full,
turn?
have your book like in front of you.
Yeah. Okay. I'll read this. I'll read this next one.
Okay.
Season reset. New season. With season 5, we're resetting the ranks of it, the same as last time. I'm also working on a way to try and get you to view your historical stats so you can look back on your past and reminisce how you went crazy as Asher last season, like Immaculator in EUSL.
I feel personally attacked.
Well, okay, bro. Now my Google sheet is gonna like just be gone, bro.
I'll
sad
still use it. I got
I'm still
great
using
value
it.
out
I'm
of
still
it.
using it.
Yeah.
Anyway, ranked rewards. Aqua Cannon Goal Explosion. This isn't a seasonal reward, by the way. This is a forever thing that you'll unlock once you hit Challenger anytime in the future. Top X titles. Only for Dropletto or 3Z Breezy. Top X. Top 5, top 10, top 25, etc. Mako recolors. Sakura Mako for anyone who reaches gold. And just as a quick thing for anyone listening in, if it's working the same way as it did last time, I believe you have to have played one game after hitting gold if you're not ranking up to gold, right? If you already started before gold, you have to play one game, whatever. an emote for reaching platinum, an emote for playing a bunch of games, 25 games to be exact, new battle pass levels. Also, please note that after a certain battle pass level, you can no longer purchase additional levels with Audi points. Most rewards will be based on your season peak rating, but the titles for top X% will be based on your leaderboard position at the end of the season. As always, you can track your progress and match history at our official site at https://stats.omegastrikers.gg/.
Goes crazy. Honestly, I'm just excited to see that Immaculate has a chance for a Mako skin. You know, I believe in you. We can win a few games. Gold's this season for sure. I believe.
Gold is it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna be real. It's gonna be real hard. But then again, like,
Hey, look,
I do trust in myself.
if you can't get a gold medal in EUSL, you can get gold in ranked at least.
that has to be the craziest fall off.
that has to be the craziest fall off ever.
That needs like
yeah,
two full season resets.
You can't get first place in EUSL. However, gold in ranked, that's something.
Yeah, it's chill. It's chilled. Okay. What do we have next?
Map rotation. That's we're going down the line. So Imac, go on. Bless us with map rotation.
Map rotation. I vow to never have Knife Search and Amy's app playable at the same time. Also, shut up about Inkies. I like that map, and I'm the boss. Rotate it out.
Retweet. I love Inky's Splash Zone.
Rotate it out, Demon Days. And Aten City. Rotate it in, Inky's Yap Zone and Amy's app.
Honestly, I'm happy Inky's is back.
Honestly, Inky's Yap Zone coming back, while Inky's Splash Zone gets rotated back in. I mean, come on.
No, I'm just saying, Inky's being back, like, people can hate Inky's all they want, but I do want you to realize you had Inky's out for, I believe, a full season. Like, I think it was not in the map pool for a single game of Season 4. So, you know, it's bound to come back. Now it's back. I enjoy it a little bit. I think it's a bit bland sometimes in terms of like goalie picks that I can play, but I've started to mess around with a lot of different picks, so maybe I can find something new as well now that I can actually play it.
Yeah. Also, chat, we'll be taking a look at, like, we'll answer all your questions and stuff about buffs, nerfs, everything once we go through the whole list ourselves formally.
Yeah, I'm full screen on this scene, by the way, so Ether Ibac, just interrupt if there's something we need to talk about, like, almost immediately, because I'll just go through
that's
this.
fair.
I'm gonna interrupt you the second something interesting happens in chat.
Okay, got it.
That is not spoiler yet.
Okay, that's great. So what you're telling me is that you're just not gonna talk. I'm sorry. Lay up.
Okay.
I can already see people complaining about buffs and nerfs. So
it's great.
Get us started on the strikers.
About that when it happens.
I'll get us started. Let's do strikers one at a time each, so we can kind of discuss.
Yeah.
Is it going to change anything at all or not? So strikers. I'm going to be toning down speed on a lot of things. It's a very strong stat that has been steadily increased over the lifetime, resulting in like some speed creep. No, that makes sense. My hands can't keep up anymore. Please help. You know, you're so real for that. Asher. She's just been a little weak, so Asher just gets a little buff. Barrier Beam, her primary cooldown reduction from 9.5 seconds down to 9 seconds. Yeah, that ain't really changing much, is it? I feel like it's gonna help a little bit with consistency. And actually, I'd probably like this in goal.
I think there's potential for it to make her like be kind of big, because I think one change in the past, and it may not be the same thing, but X ended up having, I think, like a 0.5 second change on his primary, and it felt pretty big according to some like X players. I don't know if this will be the same thing.
Surely Asher's gonna be like best forward now, and I can finally have fun playing forward Asher.
I already got my own opinions about who's best forward, so but we'll get to those later, I think. I think though, actually half a second, I could imagine like some edge case scenarios where you get an extra save off if you're playing Ernet, or an extra force through on the offense. But I don't think it's going to change anything massively. It is just a slight number of change, right? Like those are bound to happen.
Oh, wow. Next change, I think, is kind of solid. Okay. Aimee, a nearly must-pick ban striker in high elos. Aimee has been going kind of crazy everywhere else as well. Cyber Swipe, secondary. Dash range, 600 to 550, and damage/knockback, 185 plus 92.5 to 190 plus 90%.
Typo. There's a mistake. There's no percent sign. SMH.
Yeah.
You know-
I don't know. I mean, this makes her definitely better at kill, but maybe just from a control standpoint, a little worse.
Does she
What?
does she even get kill better? Like the thing that I'm thinking about
Yeah.
here is like I'd have to check out the math, but right, you're just converting like percent damage to flat damage.
Yeah,
And-
yeah.
Yeah.
I think all this does is maybe just like make her slightly better in like set 1, but like
Yeah.
after that, just worse.
Yeah, and the dash range, I feel like it's. What,
I think
what-
50
does
is
anyone have an
pretty solid.
idea
Yeah,
how
as
much
soon as you get-
50 is? I have a rough time like imagining how big 50 actually is in like in-game term.
Kai Barrage base is like around 600.
Okay, so now her dash is just a little bit shorter than Kai Barrage base.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I guess there's gonna be a lot of situations where that.
Reminder though, I think the distance though, it is calculated at the back of her cone.
Yeah, where she's gonna like end up
Where
standing.
she is
after
going
the
to blink
dash.
to.
Yeah. So I feel like this is just gonna make it so. If I'm thinking again, I'll always think about it from a goalie perspective. With a jack button, I don't think this 50 range is gonna change a lot. It could be that you need to
It
optimize
might be
your
a little
positioning
bit more
little
annoying
bit.
in midfield, and I think it might
Yeah.
make her. I'm not gonna say reliant, but make her more willing to pick up dash awakenings, and that's something we might also touch on a little bit later.
Yeah. I mean, she already was always willing to pick up Dash Awakenings, with the
You know,
exception
she
of like
already
Chrono
definitely
and
was,
Amy.
but I think like you weren't always feeling like you wanted to pick it up over other stuff too. But I think maybe now, maybe a little more willing to.
Yeah. I mean,
Alright.
yeah, most
Yeah.
definitely. I feel like again, it's like a number adjustment. It's would have to be played out to see if it really changes that much. It's hard to say off of like just like that because it's a conversion from damage from percentage to base, and the range. Like, sure, there's still situations where it's going to be influencing stuff, but it's more of a question of when.
Yeah. All right. Imak, you're up next.
Era kind of fell off to the whale side in all tiers. She's not unreasonably weak, but could use some love. Bewitching Beam. Ally power granted, 70 to 75. I didn't even know it gives more power, I'm gonna be real. Ally size granted, 50 to 35. Enemy power debuff, 70% to 75%. And secondary speed boost, 60% to 50%. So a bit down on the secondary.
I don't know. Is this the direction we wanted Era to go in? Because I know they said like wanted to do a little bit of a rework on her, nerf her speed, and then buff her like other stuff, which I think that in and of itself is probably correct. But I don't know if this is the way I want to see the buff, right?
I'm not sure. Era's a bit weird to me, anyways, right? Because she just plays, at least for now. She's just always kind of play to enable, more so than anything
Yeah.
else. So, enable and disable, right? And obviously, with that beam change, more power granted and more power debuff, it's much more
But it's
heavily
just
focused on that.
5,
It's just
right?
5. Again, I would have to like check if those numbers are actually.
And the size is dropped on it too.
I think the size might be like the bigger aspect here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the size getting dropped. I feel like this is just a net nerf.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, it is just even based off of the fact that secondary lost 10% speed.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
I,
but
no,
that's like
I
the
think it would have been
different,
like a
speed, but-
net buff if they maybe like increased the size a little bit. But I mean, that would be a little more impressive. But I think in the patch thread they said they were going to talk. They were gonna touch on her ult too, and I'm like, okay, that's perfect, right? You nerf the secondary, you buff beam a little bit, you buff ult a little bit, and maybe she's great again. But there's no ult buff here, so I don't know.
This just feels like, okay, we give a little bit more power, a little bit more debuff, but you lose 15 size. And I'm like, so basically what you're saying is, I have more power, but less range to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Which basically makes it so that probably the difference is not gonna be like that noticeable. Like enemy power debuff, whatever.
I mean, the power
Like-
debuff can be quite a difference maker if you're looking at. I feel like if you're looking at something like Era and Net, the power debuff can help a lot, right? To
Yeah.
disable the enemy brawler. However, I feel like that immediately gets evened out by the speed boost, because if you're in net, you're also using your secondary speed boost to enable both your forwards. You want to give them as much utility as possible. And just losing 10% speed like that, I don't think I would trade that for a little bit more power debuff on the enemy forward. So
Yeah.
I feel like
I
even
think-
though it's nice to see numbers changed, I'm not sure if this is necessarily gonna help Arrow with feeling more loved. Also, depending on, like, we haven't gotten to Awakenings yet. Depending on what Awakenings are rotated in and out, like, this could be disastrous for her.
Who knows?
I already can say I'm not gonna spoiler you.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Who knows? Who knows? All right.
But chat is going crazy.
Yeah, Chad is going really crazy.
Chat is going crazy.
All right, Sloth, you're up.
Okay. Oh, huge text. Estelle, kind of a subpar midfielder and subpar
Ooh.
goalie. Estelle gets a little tiny
What
bit of
the
love. Bring her
hell?
closer to... Okay, now why is that? Okay,
I mean,
I'll finish reading up.
It's already solid.
Estelle gets a little tiny bit of love to bring her closer to her buddies. Piercing shot primary, cooldown reduction from 10 seconds to 9 seconds. Estelle was already really solid in meta as it stands right now. Again, EU biased. I'm not sure how an Ace has an outlook on her. But she
I'll
already
do
has
a-
a
let me
pretty
do a
good
quick check.
placing overall. So this just straight up buff. This just makes her straight up better.
Yeah.
Yeah, NA had her like pretty alright. I mean, just looking at NASL, like in terms of, okay, Estelle was not played goalie very much, but just from a midfield standpoint, it was Aimee, then Kai, and now very close behind Kai, and then after that, like a decent drop off, and then it was like Rune and Estelle, and okay, you know what? What? Oh, I'm looking at presence. Wait, why is this ordered wrong? Oh my god. Okay. let me
Okay, well,
just-
you fix that one. I'm gonna take over. In EUSL regular season, Estelle was the second most picked character. You would know that if you watched the funny stat quiz. And she actually had 57% win rate. The only character that had more pick rate was Aimee, but she had a 43% win rate.
We love picking a character a lot and not winning with it.
Oh, are you running just pick rate or just presence overall?
This is speaking of presence. Pick rate, there's still like the
Yeah. So real quick, I'll just run it for the midfielders in NA, right? Aimee. Well, okay, this is like it is goalie and midfield both, but presence-wise, 82% presence. And then next was Kai with like 59.5. Now with 58.3, and Kai's was I think also a little bit goalie, but mainly midfield, I think. And then it drops down to Juno with 44, Rune with 40.5, and then Estelle with 35.7 with Octavia right behind her. So yeah, I mean, NA I think liked Estelle a little less. What I heard from a lot of people, I think Estelle was maybe like the 5th or 6th best midfielder, give or take, in NA at least. But I still don't think she needed a buff, and I mean, if anything, maybe up to like 9.5. I think a 1 second buff is really big for her.
Yeah,
I just want to say this buff helps out Sloth for playoffs a lot, considering Geo might be considered a good Estelle.
I mean, it's not only
throwing it
us
out
though. Like Zara has excellent performances on an Estelle as well.
Zar as well.
Other midfielders, playoffs. Grim, of course. Like
Yeah,
Grim, Grim Estelle. How could you not mention it? And then lastly, Donkers can play in Estelle as well, right? So I feel like as well the Estelle numbers are just gonna be inflated because we just have a lot of like high elo midfielders in Europe just have Estelle as a comfort pickup. So it's just gonna be popped out a lot. But yeah, no.
Real quick, just running through NA, right? Hold on, give me a moment. I'm just looking for the rosters real quick. Yeah, NA. I mean, Kainoob, great Estelle. Shionzu, pretty great Estelle. But he plays like now Kai more. Vaughn happily plays Estelle. Gret doesn't play as much Estelle. Liari plays. Actually, no, it'd be Lilybun midfielding Liari Brawley. They did like a 3-way swap. Bang Bang, Fudgy plays Estelle. Because they also did a role swap. Hatsuna, I think, can play it, doesn't really much. Cardbox doesn't play Estelle. Hook resets, I don't think plays much Estelle anymore, and then Zack Smack plays Estelle.
Yeah.
Okay, Ether, you're up.
Yep.
Also,
All right.
just really,
Juliet.
really quick and insert SMG. We're gonna be playoffs are gonna be played on this patch. So, if you're midfielding, better get on it.
I mean, I think actually most of the changes I think are to midfield, right?
Yeah.
There are some other changes, one of which is Juliet. Jules is performing pretty well in all tiers, even after a nerf last patch. Just want to tone her down a little tiny bit more. Fiery Fist, primary. Damage slash knockback 145 plus 72.5% to 145 plus 72%. Flying Phoenix, secondary. Damage slash knockback 160 plus 80% to 150 plus 80%. So really, this is a flat damage.
0.5 damage. No.
Yeah, a flat damage change to secondary by 10, and then a 0.5 percentage change to primary. Just makes her dash punches weaker.
Weaker, but I feel like it's not like in most situations where you die to dash punch, you don't die to dash punch off like the very edge of it. Like you die to dash punch because you just would have died to it anyways. So I feel like the baseline value of Julie's still
when I die to
gonna be
dash punch
here.
off of the quote unquote very edge, it's usually when I'm standing closer to the middle and the Juliet already has like 1-2 punch, 3 prize fighter stacks, and like Spark of Strength or
And
something like
your
that.
monitor's lagging.
Oh, is
And
it?
you have no energy.
Yeah.
And actually, it's not just lagging; it's just turned off immediately. Like just it's
The
just
second-
the
the
black
second-
screen almost immediately. Weird whenever that happens.
Juliet press secondary, you just get black screen. Suddenly you're gone. It's like,
Yep.
oh.
Matter of fact, I don't think I ever die to KOs. I think my game just like disconnects me each time. It's weird.
That's true. Yeah.
Disconnects you for 14 seconds.
Yeah, it's so weird. It has like a weird countdown top right as well. It's almost like it knows like
Top left.
that's when I'm gonna be able to reconnect. That's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Any other thoughts on that? I don't know. Like
I don't know.
don't
I'm
think
not
it's
really
that big.
expecting a change here, honestly.
Yeah,
like
I
the
don't
numbers
think
are
that
bumping
big.
it down a bit, but again, from what I have, what I remember from the initial thread, there's also going to be a few awakenings that are going to help Julie again. That might be coming back. That might be adjusted.
That's true.
So
I just can't believe they just took off 0.5% scaling. Like, when is that ever gonna be relevant?
hey, listen, if you're ever surviving a just primary punch from Juliet by about 2 millipixels, you're gonna think of this nerf.
You need 200 power for it to have 1 power less.
That's a
like-
difference maker.
You can't tell me that that's gonna be a difference.
Well,
at any
there
point.
will be a situation where she could get 200 power. Who knows? Further down in this list, there very well might be. Anyway, I think the
Imac.
next change, I'll hand over to Imac.
Kai, lowering Kai's base speed, but giving him a little more juice on his speed boost, so he's not flying around always, and is instead only flying around sometimes. Speed goes down by 10 to 465, and his buff duration goes up by 0.5 seconds.
I think this is kind of big. Like, it's sizable.
It's sizable
Yeah.
for sure because I feel like Kai's
Because
already
remember-
been a
Yeah, remember the
speed
Finny
demon.
change?
Oh yeah, true.
The Finny change, I think, wasn't that like 10 speed down, and then she suddenly felt kind of bad compared to when she was like super busted?
I mean, she always felt good, at least to me. She just wasn't giga busted anymore.
Yeah, exactly. She went from like giga busted to like solid.
And I mean, the thing is with this as well, obviously Kai's kind of like terrorizing the midfield by if placed on a good player. Losing that 10 base speed, yes, you get a little bit more secondary speed, but losing speed means you're not as present. And more importantly, Kai is still very much a glass cannon. If you're slower, you're easier to hit, you're easier to take out, you're more prone to be KO'd. So I feel like we're gonna see less Kai midfield because he can just get taken out more easily now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't hard to take down before.
Yeah.
I'll be real.
I mean, he wasn't hard to take out, but at least, like, you know, sometimes you just obviously, like, if you're in an optimal world, you don't miss a skill shot on him ever. But if he has like a decent amount of base speeds, put stacks on that, put fluff on that, put chrono on that, and like he's gone. So it's just gonna give him a little bit less base tools. Let's put it that way. He's gonna be a bit more reliant on getting awakenings to actually be that speed demon as he compared to now.
Mm-hmm.
Any other thoughts on this?
Not
No.
really. I mean, I kind of said my piece.
Yeah.
We move over to Rune.
Oh, big. I'm getting the long ones. I love it. Rune. I buffed Rune last patch and he went slightly overboard. Hee my bad. Banish. Damage knockback on his ultimate from 270 plus 135% to 270 plus 130%.
Big nerf!
I don't think the
No.
damage was the issue. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
I mean, I do feel like sometimes I've caught myself like being a bit surprised at how much damage I put Rune was doing with ultimate alone, but I don't think this changes anything. Just kind
Yeah.
of like
I think he has a really good amount of damage just with like his pillars, right? And I'm not talking about like banish double pillaring. I'm just talking about even when the enemy has some damage, like sometimes people will just use a pillar to finish you off, like an unformed pillar.
yeah, most definitely, because you can just easily redirect someone off the map if they've already been put into Saga, right? So again, I feel like it's a change for sure. I don't think this is going to change anything about Rune's presence though if the meta does remain the same. I feel like what needs to change for Rune to be a little bit more out of meta is for KO to be a lot more viable, like a lot stronger, which I feel like might happen.
And
Yeah.
he needs longer cooldowns.
Yeah, slightly so. All right.
I have seen things with Atta as my goalie. I've seen things that I would rather not say.
Immaculate, I'll give you Vice. I'll take the next intro.
Nah, you just want to let me read the long.
Yeah,
Stick
why
to what-
not?
Bro,
We
just
stick to what we did.
hit him with it. Nah.
Okay, all good, all good. All right. Vice. Vice is pretty near the bottom of performance in all tiers of play, but near the top in amount of people yapping about her being OP. Ah, got it. Okay. Thunderstruck, secondary. Cooldown 12 seconds to 11 seconds. Damage and knockback 200 plus with 100% scale. Okay, they worded it weirdly here. With 100% scaling to 200 plus 90% scaling. Power Chord primary. Enemy speed debuff from 1.1 or 1 second to 1.1 seconds.
Who said that Vice is OP or is it
Low
just
elo, low
me?
elo.
Ah, okay.
I mean,
A lot of
Vice.
low elo players hate Vice.
The thing is with Vice, right? Like, there's a lot of damage output on that character, and if you
Yeah,
do
a
not
lot of
know how
damage
to
output.
properly avoid it, it's gonna
Yeah.
be strong. On the higher levels, it's not gonna be as noticeable because people can evade very consistently, can maybe fake out a power chord or something like that. And I feel like in that regard as well, this is the flat seconds off the cooldown in secondary, I feel like it's actually huge.
Yeah, I
it just allows Vice to be so much more present around the map if she's played in a goalie position with a eject button, right? The second can make quite a difference. I feel like the
Yeah, I don't
1
know how
second
much
to
this will do for
1.1.
Vice midfield, but definitely Vice goalie.
I feel like the Vice midfield, you're gonna notice maybe a little bit of damage fall off with that 10% now missing, but I mean, this is a personal opinion. I never really was a fan of Vice midfield in the first place, so for me, she doesn't really change now that she has less damage in that department.
Yeah.
I know one person that likes Vice midfield. They might be on my team.
Yeah, no, Hyde plays it. I mean, he executes it well as well. I don't know.
We're gonna see how this affects our play.
I
Probably
feel
not a
so weird about the primary change. I feel like 1 second to 1.1 second, again, like you're hitting edge cases where it can matter, but most of the time,
Yeah.
is it gonna change anything? I doubt it.
I mean, honestly, if it's 1.1 seconds, like, imagine, like, not, of course, not on every single primary, but like if you have something that reduces your cooldown, we might get to something like that later in Awakenings. Cough, cough. But like, I feel like if you get your primary off more often, then that might just be like something that really has an impact at some point. Because like, I'm just gonna like assume we have a normal set you get to use your primary 10 times, which is maybe on a little bit lower side, but then you already have like a whole second more of slowing that you're doing. Obviously, like in those specific certain circumstances where the 0.1 second does happen, it might not do much, but like just having that one on multiple people for like a few more times might just be enough to like somewhat disrupt your movement. It's not gonna do that much, but I still feel like it's gonna have a difference for sure.
It can probably stack in the right environment. Yeah, I feel like if
Yeah.
you're going up against a Vice primary rapid fire, you're gonna notice it over time. But
Yeah.
I feel like the flat number changes here are not really gonna be the thing that changes the majority of it of Vice. It's a nice little buff. But again, like we've toyed around with it a little bit before. Awakenings are gonna impact, I think, this one quite a bit.
Yeah.
What I
At least for
remember,
Vice, I mean, some of the Awakenings may in fact be impactful to her.
I mean, from what I remember from when I read through the thread this afternoon, because I got bored in uni, there's like 6 Awakenings to rotate. And some of those names I've seen in there were very, very nice for Vice. But I feel like we can talk about those once.
Maybe we get like one very specific one that might also look like her guitar. That might be
surely
good.
not.
No way.
And
There's no way.
Maybe we also get the training dummy back, but
No, I doubt
Honestly
it.
speaking, though, like I think this patch, Awakening wise, this patch is a very player's patch in a way, right?
yeah.
I mean, you'll see what it is. I mean, most people have probably already read it at this point, but
Yeah.
I'm not
We're
gonna take
just
it away.
we're just teasing you at this point.
I'm gonna take it away to the Awakenings, which is gonna be we're cooking with Awakening rotations. I'll keep an eye out if anything gets too crazy too quickly. Rotate it out: Chrono Boost, Egoist, Knife's Edge, Prize Fighter, Team Player, Unstoppable, and rotate it in. We have Among Titans, Glass Cannon, Heavy Impact, Might of the Colossus, Siege Machine, Specialized Training. So we have Heavy Impact, we have Specialized Training, both really good for Vice. We do lose Chrono Boost, which is gonna affect the thing I hate the most, Octavia, which I do like.
It's not just Octavia. Kai loses it.
But for me, Octavia is the most important part that gets nerfed.
Right, but I think a lot of people hate Kai with Chrono Boost. Some people even hate now with Chrono Boost too.
I feel like this one also, Chrono Boost going out, if we're talking about like Awakenings one at a time, Chrono Boost going out is gonna make that era nerf so much harder as well.
Yep.
Like it's already not a
great.
great.
Era was bad and decided to nerf her. Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean, they did say they wanted to tune down movement speed, but like,
well, this ain't
now...
for Era. It's not a tune down. For Era, it's just straight up murder.
Yeah.
I don't think she's playable, and at least like overreaction, of course. But
I just imagine Odie going around. Yeah, Era, we want to show you some love. Get follow us behind the building. And
Oh, okay, guys.
gunshot.
Quick bit of lore. So Aesop says he was going to reduce Era's Nados cooldown, but he broke it. So he's gonna try and get it in later.
okay. But do we know by how much he was?
Don't know by how much. I'll ask him.
Even then, I'm not sure if it's really gonna like do that
Yeah,
much.
I think,
but
yeah.
at least it's like, you know, you can put a like a plaster over the knife wound, I guess. So it helps a bit. Yeah, but I mean, speed's out. Knife's Edge is out, happily. Amy's app is back in rotation, so love to see that. Egoist out.
That's gone as well.
More
Also
speed.
with Amy's lab.
Dude, why did they take out Team Player? That's such a fun awakening. I love it.
Yeah.
I feel
Honestly, like, as long as there's no goalie Kazan in the game, I like Team Player. I have the Kazan goalie prodigy, right? I have Atar on my team, but like, no joke, every time we got Team Player, there was a 50-50 chance I just couldn't react to the core because it was going too fast when it hit overtime. 100% real. Like,
Yo, Imek.
I'm not bad at reacting, but like sometimes if he just like gets like 1-2 punch, hits it twice with team player towards me in overtime, I just default to just standing around.
You know, I really only have one thing to say about that. Skill issue.
They better win more.
Play better, win more.
I mean, hey, okay, so yeah, Chrono's out, Ego's out. Knife's Edge being out means they can happily bring in Aimee's app. You know, a bit of a worry if they kept that in still with Aimee's app. So
Again,
good to
Price Fighter
see.
as well, in my opinion, because Juliet exists, Drakkar exists, Rasmus exists, Asher
I mean, it was
exists.
also just a fun speed awakening to take, but again, they're trying to curb a bit of speed stuff, so I understand it.
No, I'm talking to Price Fighter as well. Like.
Oh,
putting
sorry, Prize
these-
Fighter. Oh yeah, Prize Fighter.
Yeah,
I'm down for
putting
that.
these two together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Both of them not on Amy's is, I think, a huge. It's gonna be making the map a lot more playable.
Hey, all I'm hearing is that because they got rotated out at the same time, they're probably gonna come back in at the same time.
I mean,
It's
if
just-
Amy's app gets rotated out, probably. Yeah.
There's just gonna be one monster patch where you just like Giga enable like Juliet specifically, or
Yep.
just an Edge KO menace.
It's just gonna be like, hi, this is Juliet week. We buffed her. Juliet has like 200 power. Starts off with 200 power, so it's one power more on on her primary. Then gets like when you start the game, you automatically have Knife's Edge Prize Fighter, and all of the maps are now Amy's app. Congratulations, enjoy.
Okay, wait. Okay, Aesop was asking about an era secondary cooldown change from 18 seconds to 16 seconds.
Sounds good.
Honestly,
I'm
I think
down.
that's fine. It probably
Yeah.
would help. Like again, I feel like there's not really a lot of numbers that you can adjust on Era for her to really recover from just awakening rotations.
Yeah.
Chrono going out, I feel like it's a massive hit. Unstoppable is gonna hit survivability. Stuff like heavy impact, a glass cannon might.
Well, real
spec
quick on
coming back.
Unstoppable, right? I
Yeah.
think that's one that I don't know if we talked enough about. Unstop, yeah, I like it because I hate people who just try to dash punch me all the time. So I can just take Unstop and then make them unable to play the game. But on the other hand, as someone who likes Estelle, who likes Aimee, I hate being first pick, seeing the enemy goalie as second pick, and then having to take Unstop so that my life doesn't get miserable.
I mean, I feel like honestly, it's something that Smogo has pointed out as well. Unstop, I feel like its worst trait is if you do have it be a starting awakening and it's just a full unstoppable lobby, because those lobbies
Yeah.
just feel so unfun to play.
Yeah.
Because it just turns into pure strike wars. And I remember like some I don't know if it was a tournament game or scrim games, but we were on Taiko Temple. We had Unstoppable as a start. Everyone took it, and it just was such a drag of a game because you just couldn't really use any abilities to force the goal consistently. So you just have to wait until eventually you win the strike war. And I feel like less so, but still very noticeable with team player as well. If it's a starting awakening, the game it's just so different off the get-go. So I think it's good to have them gone for a bit. Team player, I'm just gonna be sad about because I loved playing team player. But in terms of like a realistic view, a full team player start also is just in a completely different game that you're playing at that point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Still waiting for Fire Up to come back.
However, talking about different games, if we're looking at the awakenings that are coming in, Among
Yeah.
Titans start, we're back to a speed demon game.
I love Among Us, man. Oh,
No. We go among Titans to play last patch. that's just you wanna go back to the speed meta. Okay, you get Among Titans start, and you just go back to how it was the last patch.
Bro,
Yeah.
honestly, like genuinely speaking, Among Us is one of my favorite awakenings. Like as a midfielder, I love picking that awakening up. I mean, okay, it sometimes feels a little bit weird on characters like Juno and Estelle and like Aimee and stuff, where I don't really care nearly as much about these micro movements and would rather have the size where I can just hold a bigger area. But on stuff like Kai, stuff like now, it feels so fun. Even if I am striking a lot more with them, the micro movements matter way more on them.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, that's kind of like their saving grace with Chrono being gone, right? You do have Among Titans, which is now going to just give every kind of midfield that really wanted speed before just base level speed. But again, it comes at a cost with size for yourself, and you're not gonna be getting this awakening as consistently as a Chrono Boost, because with Chrono Boost you had the benefit that a wide variety of the roster didn't really like denying it from you because they don't get any value out of it, or they get value out of it that they don't want, like a Juliet maybe that doesn't want that extra dash range. Among Titans, anyone can just take away from you. If you have a Kai in the enemy team, it doesn't really matter. If anyone's picking in front of you and they don't want you to have it, anyone can take that as a pickup and be kind of fine with it. Even if you're the brawler and you're losing size, you're probably not going to be very happy about it, but it's much more manageable, and I feel like it's a much more it's a better priority for you to not give that down to that speed midfielder and just take it for yourself.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty fair. Now, what heavy impact? We've already spoken a little bit about it, but I'll just quickly add, right? Characters like Drakkar, like Julie, are really gonna love that. Zentaro, especially.
I want to talk about that, actually. We're in Europe here. We
Yeah.
love our Zentaro, right? We love our Zentaro gameplay. He hasn't been seen a lot, but we're now living in a awakening rotation where we have heavy impact, 1-2 punch, perfect form, super surge, and explosive impact, all in rotation for Zentaro to use.
I mean, well,
It
genuinely
might be
speaking,
the
I
run
think,
back.
I think, okay, yes. EU loves Zentaro, but X, I think, is actually
Same, yeah.
pretty happy with that too, right?
I mean, X
yes.
gets spec and might as well now, by
Yes,
the way.
X gets spec and might. I mean, he likes Super Surge Explosive, don't get me wrong, but the big ones instead of those two, I would say, are spec and might.
Yeah.
I just want to say, Acha out here with tempo missing for the perfect rotation. Tempo swing, we need it back.
Yeah.
What do we have to
least-
give up for tempo swing?
At least give me like recovery drone if you do that. You know, I gotta have some chance at staying in that. Just something.
You get a second stagger swagger in rotation. Just a second one.
Yay! They one shot
same
me.
awakening.
It doesn't matter.
You just gotta be faster.
Also, I feel like a hidden victor of like these awakening rotations here, by the way. Luna. Luna has spec back. Luna has extra special spec that I miss out, all in rotation right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, sadly.
That's going to allow for a lot of Luna gameplay. I'm expecting a lot more Luna to be played either from a goalie position or on some maps like Atlas, maybe in a midfielding position as well. Also, again, Glass Cannon. Oh, good Vice pickup. Base movement speeds, more damage.
Yeah.
Hey, you're happy for it. Vice eating, again.
Great
I feel
Luna
like,
pickup too.
without looking at the specific numbers of these awakenings, I feel like just with all the awakening changes that have gone through, we have moved away from the pure control speed meta to, if there's Among Titans start, you can still do speed. However, most of the time, you're probably looking to play KO.
It's kinda unlucky the page in game is not yet updated, so I can't look up the exact stats for heavy impact because I wanted to do that to see what it do, but it don't be doing anything right now.
You could probably just look it up on the OS wiki then, because it's not retuned, nerfed, or buffed, so it's the same numbers as it left with, I would assume, and that should be on the wiki somewhere. So,
Yeah, but it's harder to find. Ooh. Where is it?
any like just from the rotations, any closing statements before we move on to like the specific awakening changes that have taken place?
Not really.
Yeah, we should have gotten Stinger back as well. I just saw it while scrolling down. We should have gotten Stinger back as well. Would have been funny.
Stinger is
Alright.
Impact
something.
abilities hit 15% harder, and you get 35% CD when you hit 2 or more targets. So that's a lot more. I thought it was like 20%.
I just realized, in theory, you can now have a game for now with perfect form and heavy impact. What even is a cooldown? You know?
Oh, actually, hold on. I don't. Okay. I don't know
let's
how
ask
well
the
you guys
first.
can tell the difference, but if you check the call chat, here's a screenshot of the new IME dash range.
Oh, that is something good. Let me have a look. I don't have anything set up to show that on stream, so I do apologize. Actually, no, I can. Wait.
I just open up the image.
Open link. Yeah, here you go. Oh, that looks pixelated. I'm gonna be real with you. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So I guess before it went to the midfield line now, like I feel like that's about 50. Like from where she's standing now to midfield was her old one.
I think that's probably what it is, right?
Yeah.
You could probably blink to midfield before.
I mean, honestly, I think it's more a nerf if you look at it when you have like eject button or like.
I mean, eject button gives you more range again. Like it's.
Yeah, no, but
it'll be fine.
Doesn't it go like percentage range?
I'd have to read on that.
So having 50 less would be like if you have like one.
Well, that's then it's a 75% range, like debuff, instead of 50. Not percent, but 75 instead of 50.
It's less, but it's like. Wait, where's
I mean, if it's 50, I feel like you would lose about where my mouse is right now from the midfield line. You probably lose this much range now off of your total range, which is very noticeable. Then again, Amy loves picking up a Dash Awakening anyways, and at that point you're already cross-mapped. Although Chrono's out now. There's only 3.
For example, Super Surge gives 75% blink range, so that would be a heavy nerf then, no?
75? Wait, what?
Super Surge gives 75 dash range.
Oh.
75%.
I guess
Super
so.
Surge gives more.
Aerials gives 80, I know that much. Oh no, it's 75 as well.
It got nerfed.
Where's Explosive Entrance? Explosive Entrance isn't on this list, huh?
Doesn't exist. It was all a bad dream.
Yeah, I'm checking.
Anyways, guys, we have some Awakening changes to get to.
Yes. Who wants to start off on the aerials?
I was the last one, so it's...
Yeah, you're the last one to speak, so Sloth, go ahead.
Aerials, moving some of the dash power to projectiles, dash blink, haste increase from... That's not an increase. From 80% to 75%, no? It's a decrease.
It's a negative increase.
Negative increase. And projectile range increase from 40 to 42.5.
See, I said it was 80% on aerials. I guess it was just ahead of the curve.
Did they look at Alex's like solo queue strategy of just pick Amy and solo score, and they're like, let's not allow that. Take away some base range off of Amy. Take away some range off of aerials.
He's rank 1 in Europe?
No, world.
There has to be something wrong.
World. You finished rank 1 world, I think, no?
Yeah, that's
he's
what I
rank
meant.
one
He's
in
rank
world.
1 from
from
Europe.
Europe. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there has to be something wrong.
Hey,
that doesn't work.
I guess I'm happy to pick up Drakkar now that I have a 2.5% more range on aerials.
Bro, Juno's gonna be crying, man. They keep buffing the projectile range on aerials, man.
just jumps keep getting shorter, but at least you can shoot your blubbles far now.
A lot of the time they end up going a little too far, right? Like this is good on maps like maybe like Aten or Inky's or Oni. Well, guess what? 2 of those aren't in the pool right now.
Hey, Inky's is in. That's important.
Is in.
Yeah, Aten is Aten still in? No, right?
Aten got rotated out for Inky's.
Yeah, and Oni has been out already.
Demon Dice is out. Oh, I just realized. I just remembered. Never mind.
I'm already dreading the demon map rotation of Gates into Inky into Gates into Inky on solo queue. This is gonna be great.
I don't mind Gates. Gates is fine, I think. Well, okay, Gates is fine when I'm playing with like people like Omega Plus.
Yeah,
it's miserable when playing Diamond lobbies.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. Well, welcome to you solo queue where I am in Diamond lobbies.
Yeah.
I still remember I had a game on Obscura, like, I think it was like a month ago or something. I was queuing to Demon Hours, got matched into like a full Diamond lobby, and I was standing like center of the field. I had an open pass, but my team just refused and was like, I have to go portal. It is in the map, I have to go portal. And it was just goalies passing back and forth until overtime.
Get this post-game screenshot onto the screen real quick. This is fire.
Wait, which one? Sorry?
This is a Gates game. I sent it in call chat.
Okay, alright. I.
I sent it in call chat. This is fire.
Bro.
I existed. We won this game, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have guessed so if the enemy scored 7 goals.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Wait.
We had no right to win this, but oh my god, we did.
Sometimes that's all you need, you know? Like, to be
Yeah.
honest, Bells was trying all 7 goals from him.
Yeah, Bells was trying.
Bells even got
I
back and
existed.
got a save. Oh my god, it's bad. It's terrible.
Okay, guys. Short interception because SMG asked. The rotation for playoffs will be Arten, Adlab, CTC, DD, Night Market, Oni, and Tycho.
And the easier way to say it, no Amy's, no Demon Dice. No, wait, no. Demon Dice is in. No Amy's, no Gates, and no Inkies. Those 3 are the maps that are not in. All the other maps are in.
Yeah. But guys, this was certainly one of the games of all time on Gates. For the record, what is it? My team, we had current nasty goalie. I exist, and then our brawler is a NASA level midfield. The enemy team is a current NASA midfield, ex-NASA goalie, and Sad Boys forward. So, yeah.
You know, Ether, all that matters, win's a win, you know? Win's a win.
Wins a win. Wins a win. I learned stuff out of it. Had great ults, you know, commented on by Alex. But anyway, back to Awakenings. We went on a little bit of a tangent.
Yeah, we move on, Ether.
I guess I'm up next.
Yeah.
Castellast. CTL is pretty much the worst performing in its class. Buff and debuff duration 50 to 55%.
I have no feelings on this. This is just. We'll see how it plays out.
Let's think about it like this. For Castellast, who are like the biggest benefactors of Castellast?
Era Octavia.
It's Era Octavia, and they've already lost
Kai.
out on the patch. Just
Not really
Kai maybe as well.
I mean, Kai can use it, but he more so
can.
wants more speed. He doesn't want really duration. I
His
feel
duration
like
got increased as well, so he has now double increase of duration.
well, yeah, but I feel like
Oh yeah, Rune, yeah, Rune.
the
Good point,
biggest
cookies.
the biggest users of this awakening are still losing in the grand scheme of this patch now. So I'm not sure how much a 55% or that the 5% increase is going to do for him. Rune Banish. I guess this damage is out. The damage should be around the same again, right? Because the Banish does less damage now, but it's gonna be a bit longer if he has Castellast.
Yeah, 5% longer.
So who knows? But I feel if I'm mainly thinking Castellast, I'm thinking Era, I'm thinking Octavia, and I feel like they still need to get over the fact that Chrono's not in rotation anymore. So I'm not sure how much this is gonna do.
They see like the Castellast buff in the newspaper, but have like a framed picture of Chrono Boost because it's gone. will be positively remembered.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of in-depth stuff about that, so we can move on to demo.
Demo time.
Demolitionist. There's a lot of size stuff going on this patch. Let's not have it be overwhelming. Size gain to 20 down by 5%, 25 to 20, which is honestly kind of weird considering Era got less size. There's only Might of the Colossus in.
No, wait, no, I just know. Are all the size awakenings in, with the exception of Recovery Drone? Rampage and Recovery
Oh, yeah,
Drone.
right. Among Titans is in as well.
Among
yeah,
Titans is in, Big Fish is in, Build Different is in, Demolitionist is in, and Might is in.
Again,
That's 5 size awakenings now.
I think this is just a change to maybe nerf Might slightly.
It probably is, because you have 5 size awakenings now. Like, in 4 drafts, a Brawler can have, or in 3 drafts, if it's a starting awakening, a Brawler can have 3 size awakenings, 4 size awakenings if it's a starting awakening, and a size increase from their goalie or midfield. Like, this is probably just an adjustment because there is a lot of size going on right now.
Imagine
I mean, that's what the tooltip says.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine you just have Zentaro with like First Awakening is like built different. 2 of your teammates go among Titans, and you get like Perfect Form, Might of the Colossus, and some other size awakening. Bro's gonna be huge, have no cooldowns, and have still so many things that he could get. Would be so insane.
Then again, I'm starting to get more worried about X. I feel like X did not get touched this patch. Got good awakenings coming in. And I feel like X already was doing like too good.
Don't talk about
I think his base numbers were enough already, and now he has more to work with.
I know. No, don't talk about him. I really enjoy playing him right now. Don't nerf him, please.
Listen, we'll see how it plays out. I just know I'm gonna slave cookies away onto that pick, I think. Okay, but I feel like it's just size. Less size on demo. It's kind of whatever. It's still decent size, so just scaling it down to not give like too much to people being able to stack size. Glass Cannon ramps up and gets you to max stacks faster, but max is a little weaker. Gain 5 down to 4 power and 3% to down to 2% speed every 2 seconds, up to 28 power and 14% speed. So
I don't remember what the previous was. And I think this is like, it's maybe a slight buff, but I don't think it's like sizable enough to really mean much.
Glass Cannon was, before this, it was 10 power and 5% speed every 2.5 seconds, up to 40 power and 20% speed.
I feel like Glass Cannon's one of these awakenings where I really just have to play it to form any thought on it. I feel like its base value is always good. Obviously, as a goalie, it's a great pickup because essentially, you can get... How much is momentum boots in percentage?
Isn't it 15? Didn't it get nerfed from 20?
So at this point, at max Glass Cannon, you get momentum boots for free, basically. So it's always gonna be a great pickup for a goalie, no matter what. I'll have to see how much actually the damage and the feel of it is gonna change things, but it's back in rotation. We'll see how it goes.
All right. Magnetized Souls.
Oh no!
A clear front runner among gear. Mag Souls is taking some heat with its speed changes. Midfield speed boost 23% to 22%. Don't think it's too big, right? Definitely a top that Mag Souls needed because Mag Souls is pretty powerful. Maybe like a few extra percent would really tone it down. But again, let Mag Souls have its limelight for a bit.
Yeah, I feel like that's fine. I feel like Mag Souls is one of those awakenings where... not awakenings, gears, where it's kind of weird to see it on every single forward, and I feel like that's happened in a few games recently. So I feel like it's good that tap has happened, making it maybe less of a must-take. But we'll see how much a 1% is gonna change. It's still like it's a decrease, but still gonna be fast.
All right, okay, Might.
There is a lot of Scythe stuff going on this patch. Let's not have it be overwhelming, hopefully. Yeah, I copied and pasted this. Sue me.
He's so real for that.
It's so funny because I had to read both.
He's so real for that.
I mean, to be fair, it's just like more of the same we said to demo.
Yeah, it's kind of just has to happen because otherwise might just scales too much with all of the size going on. So
imagine we would still have all of the old size percentages, like Big Fish giving 40% or whatever it was, or 45. We just go back to all of those.
I'm just waiting for the lovely solo queue games of Clarion. Is Clarion in rotation right now? It is, right?
No,
it's not.
No, it's
okay.
not.
Then I'm just excited.
I would know. I have like a 65% win rate on Clarion, and well, it's on rotation, so. I'm
still looking forward to USL playoffs where Clarion's gonna get picked. We get orb map, someone gets smite, goes giga massive, and just KOs everyone immediately.
Oh yeah.
X standing on the center of the map, pressing primary, killing on both edges at the same time.
New KO strat for the brawler on the orb map. You just AFK in the middle. You just get the orb.
Get orb, figure things out later.
Yes. Okay. Missile prop. This one goes out to all the people who get hit by every random Luna missile. Me. Damage buff, 20% harder, 4% to core, goes to 22.5% harder to 4.5% to core. More KO! Luna,
More
another
KO.
increase, gets back, gets a missile prop buff. Finny,
Yep.
also very much a fan of this. Other than that, I mean, I guess Drek likes some more damage on it, but I feel like this is just... Who are like the prime missile prop users? I'd really just think of Finny Luna. I don't know if I'm missing someone.
Drakkar, Atlas.
Oh, Atlas KO. Holy, wait, I can play Atlas as a KO character.
I mean, I played Atlas midfield the other day in a scrim, and oh, it was fun.
Atar wants to add Mako to the list.
Yeah, very real.
the
I feel like this,
festival.
actually, I feel like this patch might shift Mako's playstyle a bit. I feel like this patch would be like a great example of my playstyle on Mako not working a lot anymore. Because I play Mako very much to enable. I play Mako to speed up my forwards, I don't really look for a lot of damage output. I don't really look for a lot of like optimization in that department. I just want to enable my forwards as much as possible by positioning aggressively, feeding core into them, using my secondary to buff them, which has now been nerfed with stuff like Chrono out, obviously. Missile prop
Yeah,
being
because
buffed.
Mako secondary really comes online once you have 2 speed awakenings.
Yeah, most definitely. And now with this change, with missile prop being buffed, with aerials being nerfed. No, wait, it wasn't. What was it? It was the range, right? So it doesn't really matter that much. But Chrono being out, that enable playstyle on Mako is probably gonna be a bit worse now, and maybe you just do fully maybe I just have to fully transition into playing a KO heavy Mako, or just a damage outputting Mako, which you can definitely do with all of these awakenings in right now. Also, size. Also, in a way, it's something that I think Mako is not the worst at using.
All right, prime time. Without rapid fire, prime time isn't really that great. Hit power reduction 5% to 4.5%, core damage unchanged, and I don't think this is particularly big, right?
No, not really.
This just
It's a
feels kind of like a
change.
placebo buff.
Yeah, it's a change for sure.
200 power, guys. It's 1 damage less.
I mean, it is again the same thing
more.
though. It's just enabling KO more now. Zentaro
Yep.
having to deny a prime time is going to be a little bit less bad as before.
Yeah, I agree.
Just puts more damage into the rotation, which just again means we're going to see a lot of KOs, I feel like.
Well, you know what else puts more damage into rotation? The next awakening.
Siege Machine had a 0% win rate since last patch.
Yeah, because it wasn't played at all.
Hit from 15% to 20% harder, 3 to 4% to core, which is going to be a lot of fun, considering that as a forward player myself, I like to go in and just stand in Amy turrets to block them from being used in the
He's just farming catalyst.
offense part. Yeah, but now I have to actually be careful, because Siege Machine, Timeless Creator, Monumentalist, if all of these are on one Amy, and extra special, like, I'm going to never block, and my goalie's gonna hate me for it.
Oh, important intermission. Rune Specialist Atta. Big for Rune, red core, let's go. So I guess that is good enough of an improvement that Rune now gets red cores off of Siege Machine. I am scared.
Bro took out the Excel spreadsheet, was like, okay, let me tweak this number, and just
rejoiced, jumped up in his chair.
You just imagine like these like hacking montages in movies where everything just turns red, and they're like, oh no. What have we done?
I'm trying to think who are like the best Siege Machine users. Like Mako with her ultimate enjoys a bit of damage. She also enjoys range, so I guess it's kind of fine for her. Rune, obviously a massive user of it. I feel like now as well.
Now doesn't mind it at all.
Isn't going to be upset at this. What are the other creations that we have? Obviously Amy you mentioned, but
Juno.
I feel like face tanking and Amy turret is kind of bad anyways. And yes, Juno Blobos. Siege Machine Monumentalist Juno Blobos are like, I'm not sure if Kai can live taking 2 of those, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. Definitely hurts. Well,
am I forgetting any creation? I feel like I'm forgetting something, but...
Hey, I mean, all I'm hearing is KO Atlas gets even better.
Wait, so real, actually. Wait, Atlas. Wait, maybe Whistle was just a man of the future. Maybe he just figured out the new meta. Actually,
Bro, we're going from Mahjong Monday to Mahjong all week, man. Holy.
Monday too much all week. Oh boy.
so real.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. Spark of Resilience, clearly the worst performing spark when it's on its own or not paired with all the other sparks. Just base dagger up by 5, which is wow. That's guys. That's exactly where Juliet's gonna differ. Like Juliet's nerfs comes in. You get a 5 more stagger on 200 power. You get 1 less stagger damage. It's so bis.
I mean, look, this is a
Hard
buff.
counters.
No, this is a buff to peak performance, spark of strength, spark of focus, and spark of
It's not.
agility.
No, it's base max stagger. I don't think it's like for.
Oh, sorry, no. The sparks.
percent,
Sorry,
no?
I'm stupid. The sparks is based on how many sparks you have. My bad. Yeah, no. This is a buff to peak performance.
It's nice to see that something's being done for survivability.
Yeah.
Talking about something being done for survivability. Stagger Swagger, base speed boost from 7.5% down to 7%. I think that evens it out almost immediately. No? Takes a bit of speed away. Stagger Swagger still obviously a pickup that's going to help with survivability, but again, like, it just takes away a bit of value out of it. Is it ever going to be a reason to not pick it up if you're going into a KO comp? No, you're definitely still picking it. But
no, I think it's been
been
like this for a while, where people have said right now Stagger Swagger is not really about picking it to make sure you want the speed. It's more so just picking it to make sure you stay alive.
Yeah. I don't think of Stagger Swagger of the speed. I think of the like regen.
Yeah, it's been like this for a few patches now. Anyway, the final awakening and the final thing, just period, that we have is stacks on stacks. Speed per stack going down from 0.075% to 0.070%, which is now 10.5% speed at max stacks. I think previously, was it 11% or 12%?
Should be 12, no?
I mean, you could calculate what's 0.005 times 150.
Let's do that. 0.005 times
75, no? No, wait.
0.75.
0.75.
Plus
Is it
10.5. Yeah,
And it was like 11.
11.25.
Okay.
Well, right. Keep in mind, at max stacks, the buff doubles.
Yeah, it gets doubled.
So it's
Doubles.
0.75. So at max stacks, it's a
So it goes from like
1.5%.
23 to like 21.
So it goes from 12% at max speed at max stacks down to 10.5 speed at max stacks now. So, I mean that's
I
if
think
you're
that's pretty sizable.
that is pretty sizable. Again, but I mean it's just in line with everything that has been changed so far, right? Just take down speed, disable it as much as possible. Is it
All
still
I'm
going to be
saying
playable?
is-
Probably, but rough.
No, all I'm saying is this pales in comparison to the version of the alpha version of stacks on stacks back in like 2020, like early 2022 or like 2021, where you used to be able to infinitely stack.
Oh boy.
That sounds like something actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I remember looking at games and I'd see like people who take stacks on stacks have like 300, 400 stacks.
Well, we're not in that time anymore. Now you just have Octavia in the game.
I just remember the time where you could still in beta like select all of your trainings. What's it called back then?
Actually,
And the like what was it? The adrenaline rush meta with Amy and X.
going back to
don't even
Octavia for
remember
1
that.
second though, right? Back in Alpha, back when Octavia and Vice were one character together, the speed used to never fall off. Like every time you strike, you get the speed, but it just sticks.
That's news to me. I did not know that. You what? There used to be one
Yeah.
character?
Bro is leaking like leaking half the history.
Don't worry about it. There's more leaks may come, but not right
No,
now.
I don't
Oh,
want
okay.
more leaks.
Anyways, what are like the general thoughts? So I feel like this patch, right? I'm gonna zoom out a bit so I'm not just can have a rough overview of it. I feel like overall, we're just gonna look at a very KO heavy meta. A lot of the strong speed control characters have gotten hit in some regard. Either it's an awakening being out or just a direct nerf, and a lot of awakenings have come in to enable more KO playstyles. I think Vice is gonna be pretty much a mainstay now, at least from the goalie position on any map that can KO slightly, just because you have more cooldowns, you have more secondaries, you disable the enemy team a little bit more consistently. Yes, less damage on your secondary, but that's made up with a heavy impact coming back, glass cannon being in, specialized training being available. Again, Luna also another character that just really enjoys a lot of these changes, the damage on missile prop, the specialized damage. Not even talking about Zentaro and X and what they're gonna do, the amount of war crimes that are gonna be put out now. So I feel like, generally speaking, I feel like what ETOS tried to do, which was moving away from a speed core gameplay, has very much succeeded. I wonder if a damage core gameplay is gonna be better or worse, though.
I just see everything in this patch, and my only singular brain cell that's 100% dedicated to maining Asher just sees, okay, my midfield is gonna be a lot weaker in all regards. Because like everything that works well with Asher, for example, just basically got nerfed, right? There's less speed, there's less size, there's less. I mean, a bit more power, but like, just everything. Like my playstyle is gonna be giga gutted. It's good that I still have X, my beloved. Mako forward will not be coming back, surprisingly.
Should have never gotten there. That should have stayed in draft.
Come on. You're just mad because I'm better at Mako than you.
I'm just saying, there's a reason you only pulled out that pick in a show match environment. You know it yourself.
I would have picked it against Eclipse. Copy.
What is that supposed to mean, eh? Neither of you made playoffs. Oh man. Anything from your side, Ether? I mean, obviously we're very EU biased looking at this. Do you have any other like take on this? Maybe a prediction of how it's gonna affect Nassel or NASA?
I think in these leagues already people love X, and I think people are gonna love X even more after these changes, right? Other than that, Kai is another one of the most picked midfielders. Obviously, you know, Aimee is at the top, and I think Aimee will still stay pretty close to the top, if not at the top again, because I don't think the nerfs were enough to her. And then, I mean, like, awakening-wise, Aimee maybe loses, like, well, she loses stuff that's just good on others, too, so it's, like, net even, but then she also gets back, like, heavy impact, siege machine, I like glass cannon, some great picks for her. I think Justice for Era. Era should really get some buffs, and if what Aesop is saying is true, you know, maybe cut down that 2 seconds on secondary, add some buffs to ult, right? Yeah, I think Ruin is still going to be pretty strong too in the midfield side.
Potential hotfix goes hard.
I do actually think Rune's not necessary. I don't think Rune is gonna go anywhere just because of these changes. His strength still very much stands.
Yeah.
The only thing that I can see is that he's gonna be more difficult to execute if it is a KO heavy game, because the enemy can now more consistently go for a KO on him. I mean, I'm not really a fan of playing against Rune midfield, I'll be honest. I would have loved to see him get absolutely gutted, but obviously there's some kind of reason to... It's not really reasonable to just take someone out back like that, Era. And it's definitely... I'm looking forward to playing some solo queue, to kind of figure out what I make of some of the changes. Glass cannons, I'm specifically more intrigued by how that's gonna feel to be playing on some characters.
Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of the main thing we wanted to say about the patch. Was there anything else we wanted to cover, because we are already running quite a bit long.
Yes,
and I think
we've been going.
The patch was a big reason to that.
I mean, it was a good reason.
Good reason, but yeah.
All right. I mean, I feel like that wraps it up, right? Best way to find out how you feel about the patch is play it, right?
Yep.
But I feel like before we're gonna move on to playing the patch, I feel like we do still have some intriguing situations that we can at least yap about together. And those intriguing situations being the following weekend. Obviously, we're on ETOS, we're in Europe. We got a USL, and we got playoffs coming up.
Yeah.
We're in Europe.
I will just not say anything because I'm gonna be inherently biased. So I'm gonna just leave. You two to talk it out. As a reminder, ESL regular season has concluded. Teams that have qualified for playoffs are TMCT in Seed 1, Tripodfish in Seed 2, Fierce Fury in Seed 3, Flameskittens in Seed 4. TMCT chose Flameskittens as their round one matchup, meaning this Saturday, 4 p.m. Central European time. The first game is going to be Tripodfish against Fierce Fury, and second game starting at roughly 5:15 p.m. Central time is going to be TMCT against Flameskittens. That's the playoff brackets. That's the matchups. Just dump any thoughts you have.
Okay.
I think, first of all, I think the first games will be pretty expected. I do assume that Flameskittens will lose the first game, first seed against fourth seed. Would be sad if someone here would underperform and lose. Cough, cough.
Yeah, me.
But I think the second game, Tripodfish against Fierce Fury, with what we actually saw in the end. I mean, it was technically not full roster in the last week where Tripodfish played against Fierce Fury. That was literally the week 7 matchup, so we basically just got to see that really recently, but it was Crayon goal, I think.
Yep.
So it was a 2-0 for Tripodfish, but then
Look,
again,
they didn't want to spoil the matchup for playoffs. They wanted to, make sure that what happens there gets hidden for playoffs. So that's why Fierce Fury just decided, you know what? Let's not put Fang in. Chatting.
I mean,
it's a
I
strat.
guess.
It could also just be the fact that matchup, although it is like it was the decider for who gets second seed, who gets third seed, right? Realistically, I think both teams already kind of made peace with the fact that they're probably not going to be picked by TMCT as a round 1 matchup. So they're probably just going to have to play each other in playoffs anyways. So at that point, Fury not taking that series home, how much does it change? Because if they win, they go second
Not
seed.
much.
TMCT picks Flameskittens, they play each other. If they lose, they still play each other. The only thing that does change is who gets actually side selection on the draft. Because for playoffs, actually, for regular season, we always had coin flips to determine who gets to choose which side they want for the map draft. For playoffs, higher seed does determine who gets, does just get to choose. There's no coin flip. So I guess that is what they're playing for in that last week. However, if you're confident and comfortable being the better team, right? Like, do you deeply care about it on that level?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think otherwise, pretty much agree. TMCT should beat Flameskittens 9 times out of 10. Tripodfish Fierce Fury is going to be a weird one. I think most people would be inclined to say that Fierce Fury beat Tripodfish, and I don't think I disagree, but I think it might be closer than most people are thinking.
I want to see a 2-1 in both series, though. I want there to be stakes, I don't want to see like 2-0 TMCT against Flameskittens and 2-0 Fierce Fury against Tripodfish, because then like the chances of like the miracle lower bracket run just get like giga stomped, because you never see a team that goes 0-2 in the first round you don't expect them to go like much further, right? So
Yeah.
I kind of want to see like a really close series, especially with Fierce Fury against Tripod Fish, maybe even Fierce Fury losing. So we have like that little bit more of a spice going into the last ones, because I still think with everything going on, Fierce Fury and TMCT obviously are still favored to win. Flames Kittens is for sure the underdog, and Tripod Fish is just there. They can win. It's unlikely, but they still have the possibility to. So, in my opinion, the most important match to see is going to be, first of all, the Fierce Fury against Tripod Fish, and then whatever is decided to be the lower bracket final. That one's going to be also a very important one to see who gets to match up against the team that just goes to grand finals instantly.
Yeah, that's fair. On a quick unrelated side note, highest ranked person in EU right now is 360 Pigshot.
Yo,
yeah.
he's my goat, honestly. Like,
And
put him onto
highest
Julie.
ranked yeah, he is goated on the Julie.
Rank 4 even in the world.
I'd have to get out the solo
And
queue,
highest
smack
ranked
myself to
person
rank 1.
period is in mid chow right now, and it's Tempo Melon.
Oh, so real actually.
If I queue up now, I think I'm gonna be plat.
Actually, let me
Because it
check.
shows
What did I get reset to? I'll boot up.
it's
Real
I got
It
reset
says
to low
high plat for
plat, being
me.
like peak low chow this season.
I entered away like almost 150 to 200 elo in the last week, so we'll see how much that's gonna change in terms of where I'm gonna be reset to. But I'm actually kind of curious.
I mean, I know what I'm gonna do right now, and the second we go offline, I'm gonna press that play button.
I am high diamonds. You know what? I'll take it.
Oh wait, the Dubu cooking emote is so good.
Oh yeah, wait.
Tier
I still need to
78 on the
see
battle pass.
The Amy emote, the era emote at the end.
Wait,
I don't know,
Dubu
man.
cooking the Mako one looks sick.
The very last one, I
Not
don't know,
the
man.
Era one. What the?
I mean, doesn't it
know,
already
man.
exist?
No, there is the dead era one.
No, that. Oh, well, okay. Oh
Ooh.
no, sorry. That one is there in the Omega Striker server, but it's not like official.
I'm looking at the
Yeah.
Mako skin as well. It's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, now Mako skin looks insane.
I don't know.
I
I
really
feel like
like
it's
that.
very heavy on the white, which I don't know how I feel about it, but it looks good. I might rock that over Little Drummer, not gonna lie.
Yeah,
For like a
I'm
week,
gonna,
then
I'm
I'll go
gonna
back
use
to
it.
Little Drummer probably, but
Nah, I like that. I like that skin a lot more. I'm gonna be real.
Hmm.
The only thing I find kind of weird are the eyes.
Wait, did I color change?
Yeah, I color
Yeah.
changed from yellow to purple.
Yeah, it went from yellow to purple.
I mean,
so
it just
looks
keeps the
like,
color palette. Like yellow wouldn't align with the
Yeah.
rest of the outfit, so
Yeah.
pretty neat though.
Well, I'm not sure if there's anything else really for us. I'm excited to play this patch.
Same, honestly. I feel like we can start looking to wrap it up today. 'Cause
Yeah.
we've been here for an hour and 40
I hit the
minutes at this
queues?
point. And we need to hit the queues. It's up, right? I need to go to uni
Yeah,
again tomorrow.
dude,
I need to
I need to
win my first game. I need to win my first game against Sloth, and he drops down to like mid diamond, and I get all the way promoted to like challenger.
You know what? Hey, if you manage it, fair enough. I might just queue and lock in Rasmus. Who the fuck knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
first game of the season has to be Mako forward. No, wait, it can't be because I need the skin. Oh,
GG. But
I need
yeah,
to wait.
I feel like
Actually,
with
the
that.
first thing I need to do is I need to make a copy of my sheet and add that.
Actually, yeah. Do I make a new?
Oh,
I don't know if I just want to add on to the current one or make a new one. Actually.
I think I'm just gonna. I think I'm just gonna. Wait, no. Then it just giga skews your gains, no? Because it will have like the minus.
No, so
whatever.
what
LP.
I have with my tracker sheet is I have a central one which references all of the individual ones.
Oh, okay. You're like
that's
set
that's
up
too high
properly.
for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Fair
That's too
enough.
high for me.
I'll figure out. You know, maybe I also like no hard feelings. Maybe I just stopped using it as well because it did get a bit tedious. I have like 300 games recorded on there.
Hey, that's fun. Bro, mine has... I've done like 300, 400 games on mine, and I'm still going.
mean,
I'm chugging.
The biggest hit for me always was because I was so like so set on doing it. I did my sheet as the lobby finished, meaning I missed the pop so much.
Yeah.
I missed the Black lobby so much. I smiled it away with the justification of their stats behind it. I'm looking at my stats and all I'm seeing is like, yeah, no, this is about what I expected.
You know how I,
The other thing you can do is you just take a screenshot, put it in like a private Discord server, and then just like, add it later.
I'm gonna forget.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it off. I'm gonna have like 30 games to record, and then I just don't want to do it anymore.
No, I have literally a Discord that is literally just called Stat4Gore. When there's like one lobby going and you need to pop instantly, right? You just go there. I type in 10 games, screenshot, and then go for it.
Yeah, but I think with that we can call it a day and unleash our us menaces into the queue, and you can do as well.
Ether is gonna queue Europe. Trust.
I'm not queuing Europe, bro.
Hey, I'm down for that. You know, it would be fun. Rematch. I played on your ping, you play on mine. How about it?
You got me on my ping. Hey, I'm gonna get gapped even harder on your ping.
But yeah,
Who knows? Maybe it's ping gap.
We're gonna wrap it up here, and just everyone's still here. Appreciate everyone sitting in, having a listen to us yap about mainly patch notes now, then some ESL stuff as well. Inky's Yap Zone, we're gonna bring it back, that's for sure. Still no set dates though, so just do keep an eye out on it. You can expect it to usually be on the Mondays, I would assume, but again, nothing is finalized yet. So I hope you enjoyed us just kind of yapping about stuff, as the name would imply, and I hope we can see you around as well in a future instance of it. So again, just do keep a lookout on the announcement channel for that. Any closing words from you, Emak?
Mako skin looks nice.
And Ether?
I mean, I guess I'm excited to play the patch. Time to run it.
All right, with that, we're gonna sign off. We'll see you guys in queue, and have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.
See ya.